Mullum Racecar makes one final resolute push against the air, flipping backwards several times before landing back upon his ship. He stands up and turns around to surveil the situation, seeing the three of you in your disguises and the ridiculously large mushroom that you are all fighting. He takes a second, gives you each an incredulous look, and then pulling back, he throws one bolt of lightning at the mushroom while asking, "Could somebody explain to me what's happening?" So, when we last left, you guys were in the middle of a fight, and the turn just reset. Mullum's just made an attack at the beginning of the round. It's a 9 and a 3. Sorry, 9 and a 4. I can read. For an 18 to hit, and he'll do a soft 34 points of damage. His lightning bolt carves up the mushroom's body, riding along the ice that has been built up on its chest, and it is your turn. Oh, no, it's the mushroom's turn. What am I talking about? Having combat against yourself will really trip you up a little bit. Mushroom does not like getting hit.
Mushroom man? The Mushroom Man!
The Mushroom Man! He is going to try to smush Mullum.
Smushroom?
Damn, he's trying to smush with Mullum? That's crazy.
Oh boy. Yeah, that'll land. You got a 14 on Mullum. That just hits, actually. That's crazy. For a totally reasonable 21 points of damage. Gosh, this guy's hit hard, huh? It's crazy.
I think we just let him duke it out for a bit, honestly. Just, that staff seemed to have fallen into the ocean. We going? You got it?
Yeah.
It's your turn.
So last episode ended with Clutch falling into the water, right? Big ship over sky appeared, shot her.
Yeah, we can worry about that later.
Okay. Civic is worrying about that right now, standing on the edge of the railing as Mullum lands on the ship and starts duking out with the mushroom. Quick check-in with Reginald and Vale. Civic's about to jump to go get what Clutch would have dropped.
Vale's going to nod at Civic.
Okay. Without even looking up at Civic, I just yell out, "Go!"
Civic's going to leap off the edge of the ship. As Civic goes, they will turn in the air and flip the sword around on themselves. And I would like to spend 2 inventory points to use my newest symbol, which is the symbol of rebirth. And I'm going to apply this symbol to myself. Just in case something down in the water gets gnarly, I want to have a little bit of protection for myself and recover what's been lost.
Okay. You cast this symbol upon yourself as you jump into the water, and you look to where you saw Clutch fall. Give me a insight check as you're looking for them. It's going to be fairly easy. I'll say this is DC 7.
Okay, DC 7. Insight's my lowest stat. 2d6. Let's see how it goes. 4 and a 1. That's a 5. I think as I land in the water, I will think about everything I've learned about the element of water, this neutral kind of element, the ice up above that I was using to fight with, the lightning used by Mullum Racecar. I'm going to use all these swirling elemental energies around me to focus in and see if I can let the elements become as air to me as I land. I want to try and see more clearly through the water itself. So I'd like to use a Fabula point to add my bond to my religion, the prismatic way, which would do a +3. So that would become an 8.
Okay, an 8. Nice. You see that Clutch has fallen into the water and has begun sinking a little bit. She is 20 feet away from you, so you can make it to her in your next turn if you
Okay.
just focus on swimming to get down to her. She seems to be 2 still in the water,
Oh boy.
which, to be fair, she seemed to have fallen like unconscious, so she might just be drowning.
Civic, holding one hand on the sword, quickly sheathing it, is going to reach out toward Clutch as they swim.
All right. And with that, it is the Myconid again. It is going to go after, it's got 3 targets. Gonna go after Molam Racecar again. He jumped into the wrong fight.
He's going to get smushed.
Unfortunately, a 12 will not hit him, and he will sidestep and use its momentum to let it just smash into the ship a little bit. It does not damage the ship, and I think you guys will notice the ship sinks clock is still active. We are at 4 ticks on the ship sinks clock. But the Myconid's attempt foiled, more like. It is your turn once again.
That's 4 ticks out of 8, right?
4 ticks out of 8, correct.
Okay. Who wants to go next?
I will try to repair some of the damage to the ship, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Max. I'm going to spend my turn seeing that Molam has started to tango with this giant mushroom, noticing our friend has leapt into the water and is trying to reclaim this artifact, knowing that whatever that airship in the sky that appeared, if it sets its target on us and our ship gets destroyed, then we're going to have a much tougher time regaining our footing. So with that thought in mind, I plant my foot onto the ship and bring the shield up to my chest as I concentrate and try to summon the vines from this gardener to weave throughout the broken parts of the ship and try to repair it and return some of its constitution. And for me, this is strange, as my protective forces have typically gone to others, and this is the first time that I've projected them onto something inanimate, as I kind of form this new desire to protect farther than just humanity, but the things that humanity inhabits and what they represent.
That's really cool.
That's awesome, dude. I would like a might willpower check from you. Get that objective roll going.
That is a 6 and a 4, so 10.
10 will do it. You will succeed in reducing the damage to the ship. The Myconid will go again. So many targets. So many possibilities. And of all its options, it's going to go after the bookworm himself, Tatsuro Vale. Does an 8 hit you, my
An
friend?
8 most certainly does not, as Vale
Yeah.
tumbles out of the way of the strike and
Yeah.
will leap to his feet. Reginald, how are you looking?
I have 68
Out of-
health. 98.
Okay, so you could take some more. Or I
Yeah.
could just do some damage. Vale will keep the guiding light out and will just attack the Myconid and do his best to slow it down. He sees that Molam has taken some hits himself and could probably stand to be healed after his fight with Tandy Clutch and being struck by the Myconid, but Vale recognizes that dealing with a Myconid that is weakened and perhaps no Molam would be easier than the opposite. So he's not going to attack the Molam, but he's not necessarily going to help the Molam. So he'll go ahead and bring up some of those beads of light and fire them out at the Myconid. And that is a 7 to hit, as I think I continue to whiff on this thing.
7 will miss, unfortunately. No. So no damage on that hit.
Yep. That's my turn. It's been
Excellent.
a roll a month in the waiting.
Use the
Swing and a miss.
force, Vale. Put aside your
Mullen will-
helmet, Vale.
Race car will look to you and go, "Oh, so no, we're not going to talk about how you are on my ship. You're clearly not. No, we're just going to. Okay. No,
Oh,
sure, that's fine.
I'm sorry. Would you rather we didn't work to deal with the thing that is threatening your ship? Because right now, all I'm seeing is that you have extra hands, that you should be appreciative. Also, remember, I don't look like Vale.
Uh-huh.
I'm a rat man.
Very well.
I'm a rat man.
I'm aware.
Sorry. Let me actually do another take on that.
Oh, yeah.
I
Take two.
think you should just be appreciative of the fact that we're dealing with this big shroom here that's on your ship. You got extra hands. Sounds like you came out ahead on this deal. Nailed that.
Nailed it.
Yeah, who do you think protected your soldiers during that ritual while the mushroom was attacking?
He's going to hear you guys say these things, and Mullen Racecar going to take the study action.
Yeah.
Enemies can do that. Enemies can study us like the same way that we study them.
I don't
Is
see
that
why
is
not.
that a thing that can happen?
He stands there and he just kind of squints at you guys for a little bit. You did not leave when the captain left, but you stayed to fight this mushroom, and you are able to stay and fight this mushroom. But why? He only rolled a 7, so he didn't get much off of you guys, but it's enough to pique his interest as why are you guys still here? But it's the mushroom's turn, and the mushroom cares not for the discussion of mortals, cares only about Slam. The mushroom will target...
Also, man, that'd be so funny if he squinted at us and acted suspicious, and then the mushroom
Mushroom.
just fucking slapped the shit out of him.
Took the survey action.
It's like one of those, like, they frame in, and it's like a really, like, wholesome moment, and then out of frame you just see... Doom!
Yeah. Oh, boy. Reginald, does a 14 hit you?
14 does hit me.
Okay, you're going to take 21 points of physical damage as the mushroom just kind of recognizes that you are the one repairing the ship that it is working so hard to destroy, and it will try to reimburse you with
Game
pain.
recognized game.
I have made that deposit.
Phenomenal. It is your turn.
Should we resolve the situation in the
Yeah.
water? Which so far has been a really nice place to be. You all should jump in the first chance you get. Civic
Water
is
can be
swimming,
nice.
swimming, reaching out for Tandy Clutch, diving deeper and deeper into the ocean.
You reach to Clutch. Fellas, there's a mechanic, if you recall. It's called Ultima Points. And when a villain is in a situation and does not like the situation, they can use those points to escalate.
Okay.
You swim down to Clutch, this injured individual who holds this artifact that you guys have been sent out to acquire. And as you finally make contact, you feel the water around you pulse. Even on the boat, you feel a movement in the waves. The air starts to draw in just over the water where Clutch fell. The previously clear skies darken, and she is going to escalate from a minor to a major villain.
A minor.
And she will. A minor. It is still your turn, Radar. You are in the water with this thing.
Bad place for radar. It's sonar. Only you can't use radar.
You need sonar down there.
Use sonar.
So Civic is going to see this happening. Feel the pulse in this place of balance among the elements, feeling this wave of energy sweeping out. Civic really quickly, if possible, one hand on clutch, wants to try and wrench free the artifact before this can get worse.
Okay. This is going to be a contested might willpower check.
Okay.
I have my result.
I have my result.
I got
Mine is
a 6.
I got an 8.
Okay.
I got 4.
Riesling.
That's almost a crit. Almost a crit, but not
Almost a
Almost.
crit, but not quite a crit. It's still
If you were a Fury, it would be, but still very
better
good.
than a 6.
Better than a 6. Okay. You take this artifact away from Tandy Clutch. Or more specifically, Clutch.
Not anymore. Now it's just loose palm.
And the storm that was brewing above the water subsides. The clouds still gather, but you no longer feel this tension in the area. However, Radar Civic, you are holding on to a extremely dangerous charged relic right now. And I'm sure the consequences of that will be resolved on later turns.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, we have a mushroom to deal with. Has 3 targets. Does not like this dude. Mom, what did you do to this man's? I rolled an 18 to hit myself. That's
Keep hitting yourself.
crazy.
Keep hitting yourself.
Derivative.
This mushroom's on the warpath. Another 21 points of damage. Mullen Racecar's not looking good.
Oh, I was tracking.
He's
him
not
before.
quite in crisis, but he is not looking great after this attack. It is the 2 of you on deck.
I will continue repairing the ship, very much just increasing the strength and length of these vines, and the farther out they go, the thicker and stronger they become.
Love a turgid
Right
vine.
on. Another might willpower.
A 3.
A 3 isn't gonna quite do what you want, unfortunately. You definitely feel your connection to these roots and vines, but they don't seem to grow along the way that you would like them to. And
should I have rolled for my crystal for those last 2 rolls?
no.
Okay.
All right, that was your turn attempting to fix that. Next is the mushroom. Oh boy. Tetsudo Vale. You're up. The dice are telling a very specific story this evening. That is a 6 to hit you.
Vale tumbles the opposite direction out of the way. He's bouncing around all over the place, and he will pop up and attempt to fire those beads of light, this time using a Queen's Gambit to heal Reginald 35 hit points. That is going to be a 12 to hit the Myconid.
That will actually hit the Myconid.
And that'll be 7 points of light damage.
Nice.
I wish I hadn't done Queen's Gambit because I rolled a 9 on one of those d10s.
Don't always get what you want.
But if you try sometimes, you just might find the Mullen race car dies here. Please continue.
Well, actually, it's your turn as the round resets.
Civic,
Oh,
what are you doing, bud?
I'm holding this relic in my hand. Has Clutch moved at all? Doesn't matter. I am turning. No, but I wanted to. Yeah, is Clutch moving?
Yeah, what does she look like?
Clutch is moving. Separated from the artifact, you see there is a hatred on her face, an anger, what with her ship recently getting exploded. But in this moment, as she's reaching for you, you see also desperation.
And I think Civic will, in this moment, as just a reaction and impulse, pull the artifact close and kick away.
Okay. You kick away from Clutch. Is there anything action-wise you'd like to do? I'd count that as just your movement.
Okay. Because now it's to separate it from Clutch, and she's awake, so she can presumably swim. So it's getting away from her. I think using this, glancing up to see how far down I am, and starting to kick to swim up, and I will an action to investigate the relic. I haven't done many of those. Oh, what would that be called?
Sounds like you want to do another insight check, my friend.
I guess I'm so not good at these. But yeah, I think that's what I got to do. Unless it's like a willpower to connect or a dexterity to operate it or just insight.
Well, no, just roll the insight check now.
Okay. Double twos.
Okay. You are trying to understand this thing, and as you are kicking off Clutch and as you are moving up, you don't achieve the understanding that you are searching for in this moment, but a few things do happen. One, you notice that the record keeper is visible once again. Like previous instances when you were getting the gardener and the worm from Clive Key, the record keeper is visible once again, similarly just hovering in the water beside you in its notebook, scribbling away. And the other thing, while you don't quite understand how the mage works, you do see an orb floating beside you alongside the record keeper. Just an orb.
Eyes wide, flailing in the water, holding this relic close to my chest, mouthing in the water as I swim. What do I do? What do I do? To the record keeper and to this orb floating beside me.
You mouth this to the record keeper, and for the first time, it looks back at you. And you notice there are some differences with the record keeper now. Now its face looks a bit more scraggly, a little bit more like Reginald Oathkeeper. Its clothes have a more rainbow design going on, and it has glasses on. And as you are wondering, what do I do? It looks to the orb, looks back to you, and it mouths something at you. I'll keep to your 4.
Mm-hmm.
You don't quite perceive what it is that it mouths at you, but you can tell it tried to tell you something, tried to imply something to you.
Civic will open their mouth and take a big gulp of the water.
Phenomenal. Great. Myconid turn. Myconid, how are we? How are you doing, buddy? There's no way he's targeting him again. There's no way. He's nuts.
It's like that Green Lantern gif.
It's another 14. It's crazy. The dice are telling a very specific story tonight.
Kill Maulum race car.
Seems to be the case. Maulum's going to take another 20 points of physical damage. He's not looking good. He's entering crisis. And with that hit, you know what? I don't care. I don't care to know why you're here. This thing has to go. It's leaving my ship. And he's going to immediately take a turn. He's going to throw lightning again.
Dad, try to roll at least a 5, Maulum.
Listening to your advice, I will roll an 18. And he'll do 32 points of damage. The mushroom is looking real bad. But it's going to take another turn. There's no way, right? There's no way. Surely there's no way. The dice tell a very specific story sometimes. And sometimes you just gotta play into it.
You're just beating yourself up.
Basically. This time, I miss. Yippee! I succeeded in failing. As Maulum almost takes another hit, he actually keeps his hands held out in front of him, and he holds back the entire weight of this mushroom as it crushes down on top of him, and he manages to push back against it before it can fully slam him onto the deck. But he's not looking great. The mushroom's not looking great. But fortunately, it's your guys' turn. So maybe something will change.
Eric, do you mind if I go? Because you haven't used a protect. And then that, like, we can cycle it that way.
Yep.
Vale will step forward and try to shoot some more beams of light at this thing and see if that does anything. Hold on, let me look at my spells for a second. No. I'm going to shoot some beams of light again. I miss. Next.
Tragic. Next, we see if the mushroom takes another bite out of Mollum. It doesn't. It's going to go after Mr. Vale. It's a 17 to hit.
I will protect and take the damage of this.
Okay, you take all 21 points of physical damage, and it is your turn.
There was a brief moment there before Vale stepped forward to attack and got attacked in turn, where like the vines that were creeping out of me slowed down for a second as I saw this mushroom just repeatedly slamming its head against Mollum, and I was like, looked at Vale, should I? And then I kind of just shook my head, and the vines continued as they continue to grow and repair the ship. 9, 5 and a 4.
That will not quite do it. The objective stays at 3 out of 8. But, I mean, it's not progressing, so that's pretty good.
And I will spend a Fabula point
Okay.
with this newfound will I have to protect not only people, but what objects represent, and getting my friends back safely. I invoke my bond with Civic as he is in the water and I am uncertain of his fate, and we need to rescue him and get him on the ship soon, bringing me up to an 11.
Nice. You've successfully cleared 1 tick of this clock. You're down to 2 out of 8 for destroy the ship. At the start of the next turn, Mullen will immediately go, and he will focus. He will heal himself 30 HP, as he doesn't appreciate that he's not getting any healing here.
He's fine.
And, yeah, gonna heal up a bit. He uses lick wounds. Next up is the Myconid. Myconid, how are you feeling? Tell me what you want to hit. There's no way. Okay. It will target the recently healed Mollum Racecar.
I'm glad the mushroom's on our side for this fight.
It is a
Somebody's
13.
dealing damage.
Unfortunately, it will not quite land on Mollum Racecar. Even with his eyes closed as he's focusing on healing himself, he manages to dodge out of the way.
Show off.
Your turns?
Civic? Under the sea?
Under the sea, drinking some water. How does it taste, Matt?
Salty.
Yeah. Yeah, Civic feels the energy of the salt water and coughs a lot as they continue to swim toward the surface.
It's good. Yeah, you make it to the surface with the remainder of your turn, and you've got a boat. There's a boat. It's looking more like a boat than it did when you jumped into the water, thanks to the efforts of your friend Reginald Oathsword. But you are in the water now. I suppose there would be like rigging on the side. You could climb back up from there if you'd like. But I think if you're using 2 movements like that, there's no real movement in Fabula. But I think that would be just your action to get back onto boat.
Civic is looking up, seeing the plant growth from Reginald spreading out, seeing the spraying light from Vale sweeping out across the top, hearing the slamming of the mushroom and the crackling of Mollum's hits. That ship still up in the sky and the clouds overhead and the pulsing water below. Nowhere seems safe right now. And the goal is to get this artifact out of here as best we can. I feel like I need to understand and use this artifact to maybe get us an edge or something here to help us get out. So I think Civic will start swimming across the top of the water toward the ship, but I want to use my action to try and understand this thing further, thinking about what the record keeper was mouthing down below, turning and watching as it rises above the surface of the water too with that orb. trying to really focus on it and understand. Is there a appearance to it? Is there something written on it that I could try and understand, something to discern, a pattern, some indication of how this works, or some sort of emotional or mental connection I can forge, thinking to what Reginald and Vale have described of the artifacts they've acquired? Civic's thoughts are racing wildly, thinking, okay, what can be done? What can be done?
As your thinking shifts from trying to understand it from an intellectual level to trying to understand it in like an emotional level, I'd ask from you a insight willpower check.
I'll take it. That is a D6 and a D8. What am I trying to get?
Looking for a 7 here.
That's a 4 and an 8. We got a 12.
Okay.
All right.
Could you roll me 2 d10s?
Yep.
Oh, no.
Boom.
That is a 9 and a 10. 19.
Sheesh.
Oh, yeah. It's the salt water.
Okay. What is your intention? You had all these thoughts about the dangers around you.
Yes.
As you were looking around, this thing was already kind of charged up. What is your intention?
I want to get my friends, and I want us to get out of here.
Okay.
We got what we came here for.
Reginald and Tetsudo, you are on the deck of this ship, battling, not really battling, more in the process of repairing it as you let Mullum Racecar deal with fighting off this fungi. You feel undercurrent lift you up ever so slightly, and you find that you two and your friend Radar Civic are flying in the sky just above the boat. And then you feel, with a lurch, as the intention was to get your friends and get out of here, with impressive speed, you are launched towards the island that Captain Carson and his crew went to previously, as you are forcefully exited from this area.
The two of you see next to you Radar Civic, hand clutched on the relic over their chest, an emblazoned symbol of a star covering the front of their tunic, as their eyes are just wide, grinning, kind of showing it to you as we're flying through the air, and also just shaking their head like, I don't know what's happening.
Reginald is freaking out, whereas you saw him slightly uncomfortable being on sea. He is very uncomfortable being in air, as you hear him make a shrill voice you haven't heard from Reginald before. He's just...
Vale is like clutching onto his glasses, clutching his book to his chest, and is just looking in shock and surprise at Civic
Wonderful.
as the breath is torn from his lungs.
As you soar through the sky and approach the island, you all feel the jolting stop, as you don't quite crash, but rather your progress is halted, as the artifact has accomplished the goal that its holder had. It subsides, and you all touch ground on this abandoned island, safe from your perceived dangers.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's me. You know me. Maybe you love me. Maybe you don't. It's fine. Or whatever. I don't know. I'm here. You're listening, so that's something, I guess, right? I don't know. What is it between us? What is this relationship between us? What do we have here? What are we doing? What's going on? You know, I feel like there's just like a whole lot of one-way communication, right? It's just like, I don't know. Anyways, listen, I'd love to hear from you. You know, I'd love to hear from you. Maybe leave a comment. Maybe leave us a little message. Send us something on social media. A little comment on podcast apps. That'd be cool. Let the people know. Let them know. You know what? You never tell your friends about me. Are you ashamed of me? What is it? You know? You seem thrilled to spend this time with me. You know, there I am, whispering in your ears. Usually I'm actually talking at full volume, but occasionally for dramatic effect, I'm whispering, but they're in your ears. And, you know, this is something we do on a bi-weekly basis, and yet here I am, just you and me. You won't take me out in public, show me off to people. You know, listen, it would just mean a lot. So, like, comment, subscribe, and for the love of God, tell your friends. Or I'll tell them first. I don't know what that means, but I said it, so it's real. Okay, bye.
From his viewing deck upon the ship, Alejandro looks at the wreckage that once was the Onamir. You guys gain a fabula point. He watches as the storm cloud grows and blocks his line of sight. And then he sees something. A glittering, shining light, a shooting star, escaping from the area. I want that tracked. But before the order can be followed, a new message comes in. Alejandro, you guys gain another fabula.
Oh no. Oh no.
This was not the plan. We were supposed to roll this out together, and you've made this decision all by yourself, old bean. I'm afraid this will be the end of our cooperation with you. Not like I needed you. Not anymore. Yes, well, I suppose it was good while it lasted, old sport. Do take care of yourself. The call ends, and Alejandro, despite his bravado, shivers quietly to himself. If he's not working with us, then I don't need that. Belay order. Get ready to send the message. We move back to our stalwart friends who have escaped a dangerous situation and now find themselves in a new peril. You guys have landed on this abandoned isle. You are away from Tandy Clutch, from Mullum Racecar, and from that vengeful Myconid. I wish I knew more V words for Myconid, but I don't.
I would say virulent, but it's very specifically a fungus.
Right. Yeah, it's not enough F words
Virile.
also. Furious fungi? Anyway. You guys are on an island. It's not big. It's more like an isla than an island per se, but you are safely away from your previous struggle. You all can see the record keeper available, and you can all see the orb that is floating around Radar Civic.
What in the world was that? Civic, did you pull us out of there?
I got it. I got it. I got it. Look, I think it's here. We're out. I got it.
Oh my goodness, you did do it. That's incredible. I'm gonna look at the worm on my gauntlet and see if it's reacting to the presence just to confirm this is the right thing.
If I remember correctly, you guys asked Joan to make it more of something that you can switch on and off if you'd like the worm to be present. So if you'd like to switch that on, you can see for yourself.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I was looking to see if the gem was resonating. I'm not going to summon a giant dragon apparition here after we've landed on this beach, so I'm going to go ahead and go back to assuming that yes, this is indeed what we're looking for.
Certainly seems like it. All of your record keepers are humming in the same resonance alongside the mage, so it seems right. It is still...
Is it just one gem or two?
It's just the one gem. You do notice it is bigger than the other ones.
So that's at least one of them. Do you feel like you've attuned to it in some way?
I'm not sure. What did it feel like when you did? I think this is the mage. I'll look to the record keeper. Is this the mage? Is that, I point to the orb, the mage?
The record keeper nods at you. Affirmative, yes.
Okay. I took it from her hand. I just snatched it. I dove down and I just grabbed it, and oh, she's going to be so mad. She's okay. She's down there. She's alive. She's going to be so mad.
Sorry. Hold on. What do you mean she's okay? She's alive.
Her eyes were open and she was scowling and upset. She looked like some sort of emotional or mental wound, perhaps. But she was down there.
She dropped out of the sky. Oh, okay. Yes. Well, we've seen that she can fly, and also the Maul can fly, so it's good.
I hold it up. Can she now?
Oh.
We just
Oh,
flew.
We did just fly.
I would like to be prepared next time before we take off of the ground, please. As you see, I'm lurched over with a hand on my knee, like barely lifting my head.
I'll nod.
I'll reach over and give some nominal healing magics over to you to hopefully help with the nausea. Just some magical Dramamine.
Yeah. Reginald, if it helps, I didn't know what I was doing. I felt some sort of connection. Is that the attuning the resonance? And then it just did it.
Starts that way, yes. So I believe you might be on your way to forming a connection. If we had Clive here with us, we might be able to farther affix it to be able to harness the powers better. I look around. Does it look like we're stranded?
Give me an insight check.
I look around. Do you all see a way to get off of this island?
I'll help.
Would you like to lead it?
Sure, I can lead if you would like me to.
Perfect.
You're looking for a 10 here.
8.
Let's see, 6 plus 5 is 11 plus 4 from being focused, so that's a 15.
Nice.
For the 15, you look around. It's more just sand dunes that had been left undisturbed and some foliage that's grown on top of it. But looking around, you do see what looks like a makeshift port. Maybe somebody has come by in past and used this place as like an in-between as they approach Yarmul, or maybe this is like a pirate treasure drop. You're not sure, but there has been activity here in past, well enough that even this makeshift port looks like it's been used somewhat recently. You could attempt to swim back to land. It would take you a long time. If you took the port apart, you could maybe make like a makeshift like dinghy and row yourselves back to land. You have some options, but it's not looking great.
I kind of look around and see it's pretty bare bones. Well, unless you're able to get us to fly again, I believe our best bet might be to wait for Clive. He should be here soon.
Clive was just going to make it to the
Crashing
hotel,
Waves?
right? Yeah, to the inn. I don't know why he would know to come look for us here. And my concern is flying through the air does not really provide cover, as incredibly useful as it was in that situation. It doesn't really provide cover. Mollum could have watched exactly where we went. We saw how strong he was. I'm sure dealing with the Myconid the rest of the way is probably not too difficult for him. Clutch could be anywhere under the waves. We don't have eyes on her. And then there's that thing, as Vale points at this giant ship in the sky, which was able to very comfortably destroy an entire vessel at great distance. It has a massive vantage point up there. I'm afraid we're sitting ducks here on this godforsaken sandbar, and we have a man in full armor who's going to barf if he flies again, and will sink if we swim.
You have seen that my eyes have just been closed throughout all of this. Vale, my friend, I love you,
Oh.
but I am going to need you to stop talking for a moment.
Of course.
And I think back of the encounter I had with the weird puppets that ask of our stories, and that strange break in my psyche I felt as that attention was drawn to me. As I use a skill that I haven't since I got it, the Navigator.
What?
I can communicate telepathically with any conscious ally within one travel day of me. We're able to hear each other for the sake of skills and effects, and I gain the ability to perform rituals of the Ritualism Disciple. So I am going to, using the soul network with my eyes closed, very much like I've grown accustomed to using the Star Charter and seeing the way that the waves and the energies move around, use my mind to move around these currents matching very much the currents that led to this creation of the sand dune, back to Yarmul, searching, weaving until I make a connection with Clive Key.
That's rad.
Whoa, dude. Whoa.
That's really cool.
Sorry, it's a day and a half out.
I will say, for the sake of how cool that is, Clive was a day out, but I will say you are within a travel day of Yarmul currently, so this plays out. Yeah, you feel this connection to the life around yourself, and you feel yourself go further and beyond any point that you've ever been able to reach previously. And you can feel this link strengthened as you hear in your mind,
Gosh. There it is. What on earth is that? What is that flying above the city? Wait. Hello?
The moment that I feel this connect, I pull out my star charter, and you just see both my head and the star charter snap in the direction of where Clive Key is. Clive, this is me.
okay.
What?
Reginald.
Okay.
Be not alarmed, I am using the soul network to connect to your thoughts.
You just said a lot of words that would alarm, I think, most people, but okay.
Be not afraid.
Matt, I know you're stuffy, but are you going to do the voice for Clive at some point? Or
Yeah, I think I'll switch to the voice for Clive any second now.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you're speaking into my mind. This is normal. Sure.
We are in the oceans of Yarmul, stranded. We need you to find a way to get to us in the ocean as quickly as possible. Perhaps get a ship out here. There's a lot of bad things. Like you said, there's a giant spaceship. There's a giant mushroom that's breaking a ship with someone that's flying in the middle of ocean and tried to summon a giant whirlwind. Long story short, we need your help.
Okay. All right. Sure. Yeah. I could get a boat to where you are. Do you have a rough direction for me to follow?
How far are we from inland, would you say? Like, can we see the port from here, or are we far enough away?
You can see the port, yeah. You remember that the boat did take a very roundabout turn. I'd say you guys are about maybe 15 clicks away from port.
okay, but we are in the ocean. Can I have that nautical miles, please?
You're 8 nautical miles away from Yarmul.
It's so far.
We can see the port from here. So if you have a pair of binoculars and look out, I'm sure you'll see us waving our hands frantically once you're there. Just let us know.
As soon as I get to Yarmul, sure, I'll take a look. Okay. And this whole thing about a mushroom, I should maybe not tell anybody who I send your way about, or do you think it'll still be there?
We might have bigger problems if it's not there when you send the ship, but we will solve one problem at a time. Stay safe, Clive. I will check in again in roughly 1 travel times day amount of time.
All right. Yeah, that sounds like a plan. Okay. Well, stay safe.
And all this time, you kind of just see me just looking down, eyes closed, except for when my head snapped. All right, I just talked to Clive. Long story short, whenever...
Is Clive in the room with us right now? Or?
No, he's about 1 day travels away. I told him to send a ship our way. When I met with the storyteller, I feel like I gained the ability to communicate long distance with allies.
Did you use the soul network?
I believe so. That term seems right to me. That's how I described it to Clive.
How did you use the soul? That's really impressive, Reginald.
Well, you just made us fly, so I believe that might be more paranormal.
So when will Clive be here? How long do we have?
I would say roughly a day and a half.
Okay.
I have the material for us to sleep here and enough supplies to survive that time, but I don't know if we want to sit passively if that's our best call.
Well, if we're waiting for Clive, the best thing we can do is dig in and try and conceal ourselves in some form or fashion.
Yeah, let's go over to that single palm tree amidst all the brush in the center of this island and see if we can make a shelter.
You guys certainly can, and you can certainly take a long rest as you await the arrival of backup. Do you guys want to do a full rest scene, or shall we just proceed?
I have a scene I'd like to do, but
I don't have the IP for this, unfortunately.
I do.
Sick.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Is it 4?
Yeah.
It is 4.
Gotcha. At some point after Reginald sets up camp for us, I want to walk up. I'm still holding the Mage, the gemstone, in my hand. Reginald?
Yes.
I wanted to ask again, how did you access the Soul Network? It's notoriously incredibly challenging and requires years of meditation to get a connection.
Well, there, I believe, exists many different forms of meditation. Many see it as sitting cross-legged and humming frequencies to connect to something much bigger. Others find meditation in the repairing of a fractured urn. Others in the thrill of combat as they enter a trance-like state where they just swing and dodge. I believe, to put it in terms I've heard you use before, in the prismatic way, your search for balance is in and of itself meditative. Is it not?
It is. Finding a balance between the elements, the spirits of all things, that's the goal. The hope is to be able to sustain oneself and one's place in the world by finding that balance both outside and inside. When I was in the water swimming after Clutch, I had a moment where all the elements around me almost grew still. The swirling kind of ceased. It didn't really, but it felt like it did. And then I could see her. Is that what it feels like to use the Soul Network?
I cannot speak to your experience, and I do not pretend to be a master of whatever moment I had connecting with Clive. But if your experience was anything like mine, that moment of peace seems to resonate with me.
Then I'll keep searching for it. Whatever I might find, whatever feelings or thoughts or acts I need to take to find that balance, to connect with the souls of the world, I'll strive for that, Reginald. Thank you for your advice and your guidance.
Perhaps it is something I should strive for as well. Perhaps if we both strive together, we might find our own paths towards peace.
And as Civic stands there for a long moment, mulling over those words, they will have a bond of admiration for Reginald.
Vale will, while those two are talking, he will sit down next to his record keeper and try and look over its shoulder at what it's writing, and whether or not he can make anything out. He's just going to watch its face, watch where it's writing, just kind of study it for a while.
You remember that instance when you were at Jones and you attempted to see what the record keeper would read out when you put it against one of those slates. As you look over its shoulder to read the text it has in front of it, it's a very similar situation. It is a mountain of words. As you're looking over it, it seems to be writing what is currently happening. It is writing about your current situation, and yeah, it's constantly updating what is happening in the now, but you can tell that it has information from what's happened in the past as well. It still has this kind of mixed appearance of the three of you, and it is just, on occasion, it will look back up at you.
But it doesn't attempt to interact. It just looks
Just looks.
and watches. Vale will kind of absent-mindedly talk a little. I have no idea how you retain that wealth of information or how you work so quickly. It's quite impressive. I wonder what you could do if you put those skills to other uses, but I suppose part of this is you can't interfere, right? Right. I guess speaking would be interfering? Influencing the outcome? It's an interesting journalistic perspective you've taken here, I have to say.
You notice it stops writing. It turns to face you. And it just watches you. Not as it takes notes, but just seems to take in Tetsudo Vale. In just this instant, it takes in Tetsudo Vale. And then it does something a little unexpected. It smiles.
Oh. Vale will awkwardly kind of smile back. I think we may have similar interests, you and I. I hope one day we could speak about them. But if not, I understand and I respect your endeavors, and I will cease to interrupt you. I know how much I hate to be torn away from my work time, so I'll not interfere anymore. Don't mind me. And he will sit back down and continue trying to look over the record keeper's shoulder and gain a bond of affection for the record keeper.
Whoa.
Okay.
I did not see that coming. That's cool.
That's dangerous.
Oh, that's cool.
Matt seems happy about it.
Very interesting.
I feel like we could understand each other.
Matt, I would also like to gain a point of loyalty from Civic from our interaction,
Sounds good.
and kind of increasing bond that we have is just searching for ways to access the Soul Network together. And as we finish talking, I'm kind of just moving the sand around with like a piece of driftwood that I found mindlessly. And you had mentioned that this might have been used perhaps by pirates or by someone or something.
I sure did.
I would like to spend a fabula point as I'm digging with my driftwood to like just thump onto something hard in the sand.
Okay. You thump against something hard in the sand. You find a crate. Upon the crate is the Panda Communications logo. The crate, whatever it is buried under the sand here, has been either undisturbed or maybe somebody like found it and like they buried it here to do something with it later. But you find like the top of a crate, I guess I should say.
I curiously, hey, everyone, come take a look at this. It's Panda Express logo. It's the Panda Communications logo.
I'm sorry, I'm not eating any General Tso's that comes out of there. I'm telling you that right now.
I open the crate.
You open the crate and you see inside 3 briefcases. Upon opening the first one, you find 2 temperature-controlled liquids. Upon opening the second one, there is... It looks like a kind of mucus. Some kind of... it's dark, so it's hard to take a great look at it. But it looks like some sort of incomplete... You see movement inside of it. There's some kind of incomplete something inside this file. And in the third suitcase, you find a series of notes. With a brief look into the notes, you pick up on a communication that had been going on back and forth between Dr. Tandy Clutch and whoever is on the other side of this shipment. The communication is about the current sample and efforts in order to complete the cloning process. So far, previous clones have been defective. Their biological code does not seem to adapt fast enough to keep the clone alive for longer than a week. There's some sort of secondary effect that as soon as it leaves the range of the healer, the body starts to necrotize and can't sustain itself. Finally, it notes that a incomplete clone managed to escape its bindings and flee with several others. The security breach that allowed it to do so has been dealt with and should be considered secure. However, this escaped incomplete clone will likely cause trouble along the way, and someone will need to be sent to deal with them. As you look through these notes, and as you look at this crate, the size of it and the logo reminds you of the crates that were on Mullum Racecar's ship, the ones that you found filled with sand. And you are left with this information and time to mull over it and to think of what to do with it next.
It's all about rolling dice, baby!